How many of us remembered one of the deadliest bomb explosions in Abuja history? Until today, some questions just refuse to go away, and something about that case still doesn't sit right. It happened on April 14, 2014, early morning around rush hour. People were at the post park in Yanya, a busy area just outside Abuja. If you know Yanya very well, you know what I'm talking about. You already know how packed it gets in the morning. Workers were rushing to work, students were trying to catch up buses, normal life. Then everything changed in seconds. There was a car just parked there. Nothing unusual at first, but inside that car was something really deadly, and then an explosion. A massive one at that. That kind of explosion that shakes the ground. The kind that makes people freeze before they even understand what just happened. Bodies were thrown, cars were destroyed, smoke everywhere. People started running, but some couldn't even move. The blast was so powerful. It killed dozens of people instantly and injured many more. You know that moment when confusion takes over? That is exactly what happened. Some people didn't even realize it was a bomb at first. They thought maybe it was an accident or a gas explosion. Then the reality started to sink in. This was not an accident. This was a planned event. Very quickly, attention turned into Boko Haram. At that time, Nigeria was already dealing with attacks from them. So people started connecting the dots. And later, responsibility was linked back to them. But here's where things started to feel complicated. Because even though suspects were arrested, even though there were investigations, some people still feel like something was missing. Like, how did the bomb get into such a busy area without anyone noticing? How did the car just sit there during a peak hour? And then there were talks, different versions of how event played out. Some said security warnings had been ignored. Others believed there were gaps in the intelligence. And then you start thinking, could this have been prevented? Or was it just those attacks that just slipped through? The case didn't just end with the explosion. There were follow-up arrests, trials, but even at that, not everyone felt satisfied. Because when something this big happened, people expect clear answers, not silence, not confusion. The impact was heavy. Family lost loved ones, just like that. People who left home that morning and never came back. And for many Nigerians, it changed how they saw every places. A simple bus park suddenly didn't feel safe anymore. There was fear, there was anger, and also a kind of quiet sadness. Because deep inside, deep down, people knew this wasn't just about one explosion. It was about a bigger problem. Even today, when people talk about the Inyanya explosion, you can still feel the weight in the conversation. Or when they just talk about Nyanya generally, you feel some of them remember. That memory never really left. And sometimes I think about it like this: how something so normal, a regular Monday morning, can turn into a tragedy in seconds. No warning, no second chance. So I keep wondering, do you think everything about that bombing was truly uncovered? Or are there still things we were never told? Guys, whatever you feel about this particular story, feel free to write it below this video. Victims couldn't live to tell their stories, but I will. Ayodeji Crime, and I will see you guys on the next one.